This is section 2.3 day 1, solving one-step equations. Today you will learn how to solve equations by adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Let's start with vocab. An equation is a mathematical sentence with an equal sign. The only difference today is that we're working with equal signs. Properties of equality are the things that allow us to solve an equation. We'll talk about what those properties are in just a moment. Inverse operations are operations that undo each other. There are two specific sets of inverse operations we're going to be working with today. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations, and multiplication and division are the other sets. So the properties of equality. The addition property of equality says that if you add the same value to each side of an equation, the two sides remain equal. So our example, we know that 20 divided by 2 is 10. So if I add 3 to both sides, 20 divided by 2 plus 3 is the same as 10 plus 3. The subtraction property of equality tells us that we can subtract the same number from each side of an equation, and it'll still be equal. So our example here is 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So if I subtract 4 from both sides, 12 divided by 2 minus 4 is the same as 6 minus 4. The multiplication property of equality says that you can multiply both sides by the same number and it will stay equal. So we know 12 divided by 2 is 6. So if I multiply both sides by 2, it's still equal. 12 divided by 2 times 2 is the same as 6 times 2. And the division property of equality says that I can divide both sides of an equation by the same number and it'll stay equal. So we know 3 times 2 is 6. So if I divide both sides of that by 6, it's still going to be equal. 3 times 2 divided by 2 is equal to 6 divided by 2. So let's talk about how to figure out what to do. In this problem, we have x minus 34 equals negative 46. We have a minus 34. So we want to find the inverse operation of minus, which is plus. So we're going to look at the equal sign as kind of a wall. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. That's the golden rule of algebra. So if we're subtracting 34, to undo that, we're going to add 34 to both sides. So when I have x minus 34 plus 34, I'm left with just x equals negative 46 plus 34 is negative 12. That'll be my final answer, but we want to check our answers. To check your answer, you take what you got for x and you plug it into the original equation for x. We'll take negative 12 minus 34, and we'll determine if that equals negative 46. Well, negative 12 minus 34 is equal to negative 46. So it checked out, we got the right answer. Try this one quick. X minus 104 equals 64. Your first step should be to add 104 to both sides of your equal sign. You end up with x equals 168. To check your answer, you take 168 minus 104. Does that equal 64? Well, the left equals 64, the right equals 64. It works. My answer is x equals 168. Now let's look at this one. T over negative 45 equals negative 5. Remember, a fraction is another way to write division. So this is t divided by negative 45. We're going to multiply both sides by negative 45. What did I write there? Times negative 45. So we get t equals negative 5 times negative 45 is 225. So let's check our answer. 225 divided by negative 45. Does that equal negative 5? You definitely want to check on a calculator, and your calculator will tell you that it's negative 5, so it works. Try this one. W divided by 26 equals negative 15. Your first step should be to multiply both sides by 26, and you should get W equals negative 390. To check your answer, you take negative 390 divided by 26. Does that equal negative 15? Well, when you plug it in a calculator, it sure does. It checks out. We got the right answer. How about this one? 4p equals 22.68. Remember, 4p means 4 times p. So to undo multiplication, we need to divide both sides by 4. When I divide both sides by 4, I get p by itself equals 5.67. To check our answer, we'll take 4 times 5.67. Does that equal 22.68? Well, it sure does equal 22.68 when I check it with a calculator. So it checks out, we got the right answer. You have 3 more to try. 3x equals negative 21.6, negative 12y equals negative 108, and 104x equals 312. For the first one, you should divide both sides by 3. You should get x equals negative 7.2. When we check our answer, we take 3 times negative 7.2. Does that equal negative 21.6? Well, it sure does when I plug it in a calculator, so it checks out. For the second one, we should divide both sides by negative 12. Y equals 9. We check our answer by taking negative 12 times 9. Does that equal negative 108? And if you plug it in a calculator, it sure will equal. And for the last one, we're going to divide both sides by 104. So x will equal 3. To check our work, we take 104 times 3. Does that equal 312? And it sure does equal 312, so our answer checks out. And here's your assignment.